Question 5. M and B. We will look at the B aspect of the question because that is where equity investment is. Look at it. It says, prepare the journal entries. Oh, debit, credit. Prepare the journal entries to record the initial and subsequent measurement of this financial instrument in the financial statement of MNB for the year ended 31st December 20X0. So let's go. MNB acquired. The verb acquired. So when I hear acquired, it means financial asset. What did they buy? 100,000 shares in AB on 25th October 20X0. Hold up. 25th, our year ended is 31st December X0. So we're going to be doing something for $3 per share. The investment resulted in MNB holding 5% of equity shares of AB. The related transaction costs were 12 million. Why did they buy it? I don't know. AB shares were trading at this price on 31st December 20X0. The investment has been classified as held for trading. So if it is held for trading, then we carry it at what? Fair value through profit or loss. Sorry. That means the transaction cost will be written off in the P&L account. What a nice way to work. So MNB. So we're looking at the B as, is it B or II? Yeah, B aspect of that question. Equity investment. The entity has classified the investment, what was the word they use, as held for trading, and hence must be carried at fair value through profit or loss. Sounds good? At fair value through profit or loss. So initial, because remember in the question, they said initial and subsequent measurement, right? So let's look at initial measurement and recognition. And that is on 25th October 20X0. So let's look at the cost of investment, how much they paid. All right. We bought 100,000 shares at £3 per share. And so that means we paid £300,000. Then there is a transaction cost we are told was 12,000. We pay that as well. So what will be the journal entry? Let's pass it quickly because in this question exclusively, the examiner wants us to pass journal entry. Now, although the question just said, prepare journal entry to record the above transaction, you saw that I just wrote a preamble there telling us that it must be carried at fair value through profit or loss in that particular case. That is just a small note that I am adding in there. So we debit equity investment. Please, the fact that we are saying equity investment does not mean it will go under equity and liability. So this will be under current asset because they said it's for trading purposes. Or it could be under non-current asset because it is a financial asset. Because some of you hear equity, no, you go and bring it under equity. So equity investment is going to be debited with £300,000. Then we will also debit profit or loss, okay, with the, what did they say? Transaction cost, £12,000. Sounds good. Then you credit cash with a total figure, cash or bank. How much would that be? $312,000. So that's our initial measurement and recognition. Subsequent measurement at the end of the year, what happens? At 31st December 20X0. Now the shares are valued at 3.4. So the shares have gone up in value. So The fair value of the equity investment now will be, we still own 100,000 shares, all right? But this time around times what? 3.4 pounds. And that's going to be what? 340,000 pounds. So if you look at it, our investment has gone up, right, by 40,000, which must go to profit or loss. So fair value gain is 340,000 minus 300,000, which is 40,000. So we pass the journal entry on that, and that is debiting financial asset or the equity investment with the 40,000 because it is going up, and then you credit profit or loss because it's a gain, 40,000. So this could be part of maybe other income in profit or loss. That is the answer to the question, and that is equity investment. So when it comes to the equity investment, if we are carrying at fair value through P&L, transaction cost is written off in the P&L. If we are carrying it at fair value through OCI, then the transaction cost would have been included in the equity investment. So the same question, right? I'm going to use it for non-trading purposes so that you see how it works like. So still M&B, but now let's say it is non-trading. I just want you to see the difference of what's happening. Now, let me just bring in the double entry here. So initial measurement, we will not debit profit or loss. We will debit equity investment because the transaction cost will be included in the equity investment. So it means the initial measurement of the equity investment will be equal to 312,000. Do you get the idea? 312,000. Now, on subsequent measurement, still we're getting our fair value gain. But then, so just let me copy this. But it won't go to profit or loss. We won't credit profit or loss. We're going to credit other comprehensive income and then other component of equity on the face of the statement of financial position. So we credit OCI, other comprehensive income. Then when we go on the face of the statement of financial position, because whatever comes in OCI must be reflected under equity. So when we go to the statement of financial position, that will also be part of other component of equity. So that is what will be going in the statement of financial position. That's it. Very sweet, simple, straight to the point. So for equity investment, this is how we work. Either at fair value through P&L, because it is for trading purposes, because it is a short-term strategy, or at fair value through OCI, because it is not for trading purposes, it's part of long-term strategy of the company, or the question is quiet. As I said, if the question is quiet, the default treatment is at fair value through P&L. Nonetheless, if you do at fair value through OCI, you will still be marked because the question is quiet. And since the question is quiet, each of the methods will be correct. And that is the idea about that.